Let's finally answer the age-old question. Do women really ejaculate, or are they squirting pee? If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and share this video with your friends. What type of fluids do women make? Intimacy can be quite a messy endeavor. There are several different types of fluids that women or anyone with a vulva can produce. First, vaginal lubrication. This is actually what happens during arousal, where the vagina creates its own lubricant. Due to chemical messenger signals telling the body that it is now excited, it begins to create a great lack of lubrication to prepare for a possible sexual intercourse. The amount of lubrication can vary depending on the intensity and duration of sexual arousal, as well as various medical factors such as postmenopausal problems and others. Just because you don't lubricate a lot doesn't mean you're not aroused, and sometimes, during ejaculation, that fluid can also come out because the muscles around the vagina can contract during orgasm. So this is a type of fluid that women produce during intercourse. The other types of fluid that we're looking at are fluids that are created during ejaculation specifically, and they are divided into two different categories, one called female ejaculation and the other called squirt. And these two can occur at the same time as well. Therefore, female ejaculation is essentially similar to male ejaculation. What exactly is female ejaculation? Fluid that is created in these organs called the skein gland. The skein glands are glands that are embryologically similar and developed in a very similar way to the prostate. They are located below the urethra or urinary tube and may extend for a little bit of the anterior vaginal wall or the upper side of the vagina. The female ejaculation that comes from the skein gland is a very small amount, usually about a ml or more. So many women may not necessarily produce any fluid from here, or may not even notice the fluid. And this fluid usually appears white in color, like fat-free milk in women who have noticed any form female ejaculation. Now, how many women actually ejaculate? Well, the numbers range from 2 to 3% up to 54%, have been reported in the literature based on surveys where researchers ask women if they ejaculate. Women may not know or if they are actually experiencing some form of true female ejaculation. How is Skene's gland related to the prostate gland? Skene's gland is similar to the prostate, but how do we know that? Well, in some studies they actually managed to isolate this ejaculate from women, a very small number of studies, and they actually studied it and found that a positive test for something called prostate-specific antigen, which is produced only by prostate tissue in men. Also, when they looked at it under a microscope and they looked at the tissue under the microscope and they stained it for things that stained positive for tissue from the prostate, these glands actually light up in a similar way to what happens in the prostate glands. Squirting, on the other hand, is a squirt of fluid that occurs. What is squirting? This is very similar to, but chemically different from, urine. The amount of this is a little higher than what we call female ejaculation. It can be half to 3 ounces of fluid that you may notice during a squirt, but if you are a squirt or not, or whether their owners squirt or not, there is actually no difference in sexual satisfaction when they survey people who consider themselves ejaculators.